Well, good to have you here on this Tuesday morning. Some surprising and alarming new scientific findings show that kids are becoming depressed at younger ages. Children are actually being diagnosed with depression at the age of 11. And some kids are beginning to show signs of depression at the age of 4.
So we were talking about this when we originally reported this story. Really caught our attention. We're both parents. I have a young daughter. You have teenagers. We had a lot of questions. So we were like, who do we call? Dr. Gregory Jantz, you are here to help us kind of navigate this. You actually wrote a book. It's called When Your Teenager is the Stranger
in the House.
So let's talk about this. Sure. 11 years old feels very young, but it could be even younger than that. Is it depression, or is it just sadness, or what are these young kids?
I think we can actually see the symptoms of depression. They're dropping to younger ages. I know that sounds really strange. You go, what? What does a kid have to be depressed about?
Right.
But we're seeing, and there's some reasons for it. So there's definitely an increase.
Okay, so how much of this is a serious mental problem and how much of this is kids being kids or teenagers being teenagers?
Okay, that's the big question. If it's a teenager, we know that there's certain things they're going to go through. You know, you may have a teenager, they put the earbuds in their ears and they disappear and they don't want to talk to anybody, right? And you go, what? Is this normal? Yeah. Well, if they do that the next 6 months, it's probably not normal. But we need to remember, there's natural transitions, there's testing of boundaries, normal things that kids go through. But we're really not talking about that here. We're talking about some other more critical issues.
So how do you identify?
Okay.
Is it the timeline? Is it the length of time?
So we want to look, how long are we struggling with these symptoms? Do we see academic failure? There's a number of things we want to look for. But we want to look at the kid, what's impacting the kid? One of the things that's going on that's kind of invisible is cyberbully behavior.
Right, and that's something that a lot of times we don't pick up on as parents. But technology in general, it has to be a big factor here, right?
Oh boy, shall we talk about that?
Yeah.
Technology, wow. Technology, you'll probably notice, it can change a kid's personality. They can become irritable, they can throw tantrums if they don't get it. We've all seen this. You're in the restaurant. A device is the babysitter for the kids while the parents eat.
Yeah.
So we need to look, okay, so technology, and what I'm concerned about is younger ages and just kind of no boundaries around how much time and what the kids are doing. So we need to look at that. We know that too much technology overstimulates the brain and creates a depressed brain. And so that is one factor. The other factor absolutely is bully behavior, things that are being said in social media. So there's a whole other layer that parents are not always aware of.
So what advice do you have for parents when it comes to excess screen time and kind of, protecting our kids from this? Because they want it, obviously, as much as they can get it.
Yes. And we're not saying you can't have it, but let's put some boundaries around it based upon age. How much time? So younger kids, we go, how do you want to use your 1 hour a day? Use timers. Really start to put boundaries around it. Will they resist, throw tantrums? You know what? They will. But reestablish some time boundaries. There's some really good parameters out there based upon age. Some kids too, now we need to remember, boys are going to crave, typically, this is a general statement, but a lot of stimuli. They're going to crave a lot, they want all these war games, what's going on? And so we need to look at that because they're going to react differently than a typical girl.
Yeah, it's interesting because I have a boy and a girl. My son is particularly, I call it, he drones out. He gets into his screen mode, and then when he comes out of it, he is a little depressed, or he's down.
He's down or
a little
irritable.
bit. I wouldn't call it depression, but yeah, a little more irritable, and he's just not really 100% focused. So that I wouldn't call depression, but I would call it a concern. So in terms of what parents should be looking out for in terms of signs of depression, what are we looking for?
A kid that isolates, a kid that normally is doing well in school, but all of a sudden they're disconnecting from their normal peer group, their friends. They may cry, they may show a lot of anxiety. They may have trouble sleeping.
Okay.
And, getting them going in the morning. Those could be indications of a beginning pattern of depression. Even their appetite. Some kids, they stop eating and go, what's going on? Other kids, they're doing secret eating. So look at the overall picture. What are the behaviors that they're doing that are really normal behaviors in the past, but they can't seem to do them anymore?
And this is something I can start looking at, or should be early on as well.
I think we just need to increase our awareness. We also know that kids, when we intervene early, we can turn some things around.
Okay.
There really is. We can help them. Kids aren't aware of the impact of their environment like we as adults.
Dr. Gray Jans, always great to have you.
Oh, good to be here with
Thanks
both
so
of
much
you.
for your time. All right, Liz, over to you.